Jedi Fallen Order has a new Invincible boss, kind of. I'm sure you all know, at the end of Jedi Fallen Order's story, you get to face an invincible Darth Vader, who's actually not so invincible. I tested that the other day in my last Fallen Order video. But now, with the help of a new Jedi Fallen Order mod, finally, we are able to face Vader in the Combat Challenges game mode. And once again, ask that same old question: is Darth Vader invincible? Hey everyone, it's Andrew. And today we're going to once again put Darth Vader to the ultimate test. I'm going to run Vader through multiple challenges, make him face off against a variety of Jedi Fallen Order's enemies and bosses, and see if Darth Vader is in fact invincible. Vader actually replaces Jaro Tapal in the combat arena, Jaro Tapal of course being Fallen Order's other invincible boss, although we found a way of beating him, of course we did. But this isn't just a cosmetic overlay or skin of Vader on top of Jaro Tapal. It's the actual Vader from the story mode, complete with Vader's AI, movements, and creepy breathing. And I'm really curious to see if we can defeat Vader just like we did in the story mode the other day. Although that's going to require one more mod, the one-hit kill cheat. This will just show us if it's possible to hit Vader. And also makes the game a lot more realistic, makes lightsabers a one-hit kill. So there's that too. You get stabbed by a lightsaber, you die. That's the way it works. But first, let's start with the basics and face Vader one-on-one. I slowly approached, knowing that at any second, Vader could grab me around the neck and bring me to his mercy. But that didn't happen. In fact, I got right up next to Vader and nothing. He didn't attack or swing at me or perform the force choke, so I began my attack. Of course, Vader blocked and then deflected everything I threw at him: force push, pull, lightsaber throw, force slow, all attacks. Nothing gets through, but nothing surprising here. That's the Vader we know. Okay, so next, I want to try some of the tactics we used to defeat Jaro Tapal. There are several enemies and a few different ways of defeating this invincible boss, and I want to see if we can apply the same methods to Darth Vader. And the first of those involves the Skungus. Ah yes, of course, the Skungus. The great space fungus. Force pushing lots of these into Jaro Tapal slowly wears him down and eventually gets you the win. Or he freezes anyway. But against Vader, the Skungus has no effect. Vader will not be defeated by such simple methods, unless you turn one-hit kill on. Because with this turned on, the Skungus will instantly make even multiple Vaders disappear in an instant. Either that, or Vader is performing some force magic trick and he's trying to just get out of there. In a burst of Skungus, Vader disappeared. Now, the only attack Jaro Tapal couldn't block from Cal was the repulse, this downward force slam. And the same went for Darth Vader in the story mode. This is how we eventually got the better of him, but only with one hit kill turned on. So what happens if we try use this in the combat challenges mode? Will this same attack defeat the invincible Darth Vader? Yes it will. But like I said, only with one hit kill, and I'm not sure Vader is really defeated. Perhaps he turns into a Force Ghost. I'm actually curious if Vader were to turn into a Force Ghost, which he does when he turns to the light side. Anakin becomes a Force Ghost. But if Vader were to turn, would he become a Sith Ghost? But would his suit stay in the physical world? Would it just collapse to the floor, similar to Obi-Wan's robes? Interesting thoughts. Okay, next up, round 2. I wanted to fight against not just one, but multiple Darth Vaders to see if there would be any difference in their defense or their ability to be invincible. I threw absolutely everything at them, but again, the only thing that would work was the Force Repulse. This is the only attack that's got through Vader's guard, and he even blocks this sometimes, just standing there all stubborn, blocking a repulse with his lightsaber. Like, how does that even work? How do you block a repulse with a lightsaber? It's like a wave of force. Okay, Vader, challenge accepted. There may be lots more of you than I may be growing old with my beard and Jedi robes, but I won't stop until I properly defeat you, or someone else does. So I thought I'd hand over to my dark side, Inquisitor Cal, and just on his own, he couldn't seem to do anything to Vader. Even the repulse attack wasn't working, and then he started attacking me. That's not why I created you. I gave you life. Now you will do my bidding. So I turned one hit kill on and set the wild Inquisitor Cals on Vader. And it took them a little bit, but eventually, a little sneaky stab to the back while Vader was distracted from the front got the job done, and again he vanished. And then the victorious Inquisitor Cal was immediately slain and sliced by another lightsaber. After which I stood by the survivor and we exchanged a glance of our new facial hair. And then I also ran the simulation again, and Inquisitor Cal defeated Vader with his first repulse attack, so there's that too. Next up, the best bare-chested man in the galaxy, the shirtless exile Taron Maloch. I thought this would be a sure win for the former Jedi/adopted Dathomirian, but it was not to be. Vader was not intimidated by the bare chest, a stalemate to the last. So next up, the Ninth Sister, big and bulky, and I really wanted 4 Ninth Sisters to crowd Vader, which they did so successfully, making Vader disappear within seconds. So what about the second sister? Spoiler warning in case you haven't played the game, Vader eventually slays Trilla at the end of Jedi Fallen Order story. So can the second sister exact some revenge on the Dark Lord if she's multiplied by 4? It took her a little longer, but she got the job done in the end. And Vader disappeared once again, absconded off into nothingness. So there's your boss fights. Obviously, I'd love to also pit Vader against Jaro Tapal, but Vader replaces Jaro Tapal in the combat arena with this mod, so this isn't currently possible. But I'd have to feel it'd be a stalemate, seeing as though Vader doesn't actually attack, and Jaro Tapal only has several basic lightsaber animations which are quite slow and most likely won't break Vader's guard, so there you go. So how about some of the other enemies which defeated Jaro Tapal? Can they also defeat Vader? First up, let's just have a try of the regular Stormtroopers, which aren't regular Stormtroopers anymore because I'm using a Shock Trooper mod. Vader of course blocks all their blaster bolts, but he doesn't actually deflect them back, so I guess this is also kind of a stalemate. Pretty sure Vader doesn't have any attack animations, only defense blocks and his force choke from the story, and he can't use that here. So how about the Stormtrooper commanders? They're a bit more aggressive and also throw grenades, so I thought maybe the splash of the grenade would hit Vader, but I was wrong. Again, Vader, proving his might, blocks everything and is unaffected by grenade explosions, apparently. So perhaps an AT-ST will do the trick. Giant in size, towering over Vader with its explosive firepower. If it weren't for its clumsiness, perhaps it would have succeeded, but it was destroyed by its own grenades, and then after climbing out of the cockpit, the AT-ST pilot rudely started shooting at me, even though I was in spectator mode. The AT-ST pilots are the only characters who can see through my disguise. They can see the cruel challenges I'm putting all of Jedi Fallen Order's characters through, and they're trying to do something about it. So I quit the game. The security droids were also useless. They just punched Vader with no result and also accidentally punched each other. Okay, now I think Vader's in trouble. The Flame Troopers. Upon being scorched by the first flames, Vader didn't wish to be reminded of the pain he felt lying beside the lava lake on Mustafar. His wounds and limbs cauterized by the blade of his former master. Vader promptly escaped the scene and dissipated into thin air. And the Flame Troopers remained, and they'd won the day. And if Flame Troopers will do the job, surely Flame Beetles will do similar. Can you imagine what it'd be like if Vader were to be defeated by a little beetle? I guess the galaxy isn't what it used to be. Vader easily defeated, it seems. Little beetle. Next up, how about some Dathomirians? How about some Night Brothers? They were able to defeat Jaro Tapal, but not Vader. He stood his ground. He's not having any of their nonsense. So surely a group of Purge troopers would be able to get the job done. They're specifically trained for fighting Jedi, so Sith Lords aren't too far off, right? This looked more like a round of sparring practice for them all. They moved in and out from the center, and each Purge trooper took turns to quickly attack, but to no avail. Another stalemate. Ogdo Bogdo, everyone's favorite space frog, lizard, or whatever the heck this thing is. He couldn't get the job done. And neither could the scout troopers with riot batons. No surprise there. And it doesn't even seem like Vader is getting frustrated with being unable to attack himself. He's just happy to stand his ground and block anything that comes his way, but the rage is building, believe me. Heavy assault troopers were also useless. I was hoping their higher rate of fire would be able to break through, but no two troopers would fire at the same time. They all took turns for some reason. Stormtrooper logic, it seems. The Nidak Alpha was also useless, as were the bounty hunters, incapable of claiming Vader's bounty. The Tomb Guards were actually successful. Good thing Vader didn't go raiding any Jedi tombs. He probably did, I guess, but good thing he didn't come across these guys. The Undead Night Sisters Slugs were also successful. Took them a bit, but they wore him down, and also the albino Y-Shock wrapped Vader up in some spider webs and then jumped over the top of him. I don't blame him, I'm scared of spiders. He gets out of there. The Baneback spiders were unsuccessful, which I was actually surprised about, seeing as though they have a spread attack and were capable of defeating Jaro Tapal, I'm pretty sure. But now, the time had come. It was time for Vader to face the greatest nemesis ever, Vomit Slugs. The ultimate challenge. Last time the Slugs were so deadly, they defeated Jaro Tapal almost instantly. So can they do the same with Vader? Yes, they can. The slug here pushed Vader back into one of these other slugs' vomit, and it's all over. Slug vomit's so deadly, it defeats a Sith Lord, it defeats the Chosen One. Now I want a game where we just get to play as these slugs. Put the slug as the main protagonist of the game. I will buy that. And just as a little bit of fun, in an attempt to taunt Vader, I thought I'd place lots of astromech droids all in front of Vader and proceeded to slice them up with my lightsaber. Vader is almost all machine, so if I can't slice him up, at least I can slice up some other machines in front of him and show him what it's like. And it was at this point that Vader had finally had enough. His rage had boiled, and he glitched the game into the final boss fight, where I had to face him, but his powers had returned. He grabbed me by the neck and choked Cal to death. And that was it, the end of Vader's challenges. I think the moral of this story is that don't go near vomit slugs. So which enemies did you think would be able to defeat Darth Vader? And what do you want to see me test next? Let me know in the comments. And to see all the ways we can defeat Jaro Tapal, if you want to see him get slain by a vomit slug, go watch this video here. Actually quite a few different enemies capable of defeating the fallen Jedi Master. And I'd also like to just give a shout out to Super Snell, who created this Arena Vader mod. And in addition to that, if you want to give Cal the beard like I had, it's an Obi Cal Kestis mod, created by Coriantum, which basically just gives Cal Obi-Wan's beard. And follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join my Discord for lots more Star Wars gaming, and come tell me what you want me to try do next. And thanks for watching this. My name's Andrew, I'll catch you soon.
Stay bombastic.